Happy new month, traders, and welcome to another episode of our weekly Forex Forecast. Today, I'm going to be kicking things off with Gbpusd. Gbpusd, starting from the monthly time frame as usual. Since September 2022, last year, price has been trending upward, right? We've only seen 2 months of bearish price action here. We've seen more of bullish candlesticks, but overall, there's no doubt we are still in a downtrend because obviously, you can see that price is creating lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? But as a good trader, you should be able to know when price comes into a very, very important level, bounces off from that important level, and which level it is going into next. So for me, and for now, I'm actually expecting price to come into this trend line. So even if price comes into that trend line, does that mean we are not overall in a bearish trend? Of course, obviously we are, but we may come into that zone, into this trend, and start falling all the way back to the downside, or we may also break above it. But let's not jump ahead of ourselves. When we get there, we know where to go next. But for now, I'm expecting this monthly price action to come into this trend line. Now let's go to the weekly time frame. But before we go to the weekly time frame, I forgot to mention, you can obviously see that we had more bullish price action last month because the candle communicates to us as traders, right? So you want to look at the color of the candlesticks to easily know the price action. So this is a green candlestick and that's bullish price action. At least you can edit the color, but for me, green represents buys, red represents sells. So we actually had a more bullish price action last month before the bearish move. But I'm still looking at the bullish side of things this month. Remember 2 months ago, I also predicted that we're going to see more bullish price action last month. And now we've closed. This month, I'm also telling you guys that I'm going to be expecting more bullish price action. Now let's go to the weekly time frame. No doubt we've seen 3 weeks of bearish price action. Remember, like I said, the colors of the candlestick, but you should also understand the fact that price doesn't just move in a straight line. It goes impulsive, it corrects itself, goes impulsive, correction, impulse, correction, right? That's how the market moves. I wish it moves in a straight line and we'll all be millionaires today, right? So price actually creates highs, higher lows, a new higher high breaking above this higher low, a new higher high breaking above this. Then I'm expecting a higher low for price to continue into that monthly trend line that I just mentioned up above there. So yes, when price is in a trend and when you start seeing pullbacks happen, if you're on the lower time frames, you may not see this. Let's say if you're on the 1 hour, 15 minutes and all of that, you would think this little pullback here is a significant stuff and you'll be like, price has been trending upward for a while and now it's time to go bearish. Then you'll just be trading blindly. You don't even know where price is coming in, so you don't know where price is most likely going to react to, right? But if you look at the higher time frames combined to the lower time frames, you could tell the changes in price as they happen. All right, let's continue. Now, when price closed this initial week with a bearish candle, I was like, I knew at that point that price wants to come and retest this zone before it continued higher. And of course, when I went to the lower time frames, I was trading in the direction of that sell, but I knew where to be taking profits. Right, I won't lie, I didn't catch the initial bearish move because of course clearly we're in a bullish trend. But after we closed this particular week, that was when I switched to a bearish mode. All right, at least until we come into the zone. And if you notice, the NFP news came out on Friday, last Friday, and you will notice that it was a strong bullish price action that followed. All right, why did you think so? Because with experience, I've discovered that the technicals and the fundamentals, they actually move hand in hand. When price come into a key area, an important zone, an area that has been tested multiple times, go to the news and see what the fundamentals is going to do. You see that the fundamental is going to support your bias at that point in time, of course, if you have a valid bias at that point in time. So price was trading here, and when the news came out yesterday, you discovered that price pushed all the way to the upside because trading is still more technical. You can argue that anyways. Let me know in the comment section which is better, technicals, fundamentals, or a little bit of fundamentals and technicals. Just let me know your approach to the Forex market. So now we've established that we are in a mini bullish trend on the weekly time frame. Let's switch all the way down to the weekly time frame. Now you can see on the weekly time frame when we came into that key level, we started seeing signs of weaknesses, and then that was for how we got this dodgy candle. And the next day, which was Friday, we saw a bullish price action thanks to NFP. Price has been falling till this zone. Let's say price wants to continue going bearish, because I can't just come here and say we are going bullish, we are going. No, I have to give you different outcomes, right? Especially when we are trading at a key level. Now, if we break below this key level next week and in the process create a new lower low here, right? Breaking below this low, then guys, I will expect a pullback into that zone. Then from here, I would like to catch a swing trade. You know, this was how I talked about a swing trade from here last month. So if you missed that, now always observe where I always say I'm going to take a swing trade from. So if we go bearish next week, then I'll wait for a retest after a new creation of a new lower low, a retest. Then it is inside here I'm going to swing all the way down to 1.21000. All right, that will be my next target. But for now, remember I said I am more bullish than bearish, right? So for next week, I'll be expecting price to keep pushing higher into 1.28243 or this trend line. All right, now our proper bullish confirmation will be above the trend line. But let's go to the 4-hour time frame so that we can see that trend line clearly, right? This is that key level. You can see the massive rejection and you can see how price rallied to the upside afterward, and then towards the end of Friday, price is trying to pull back. All right, so like I said earlier, our bullish confirmation, a proper bullish confirmation, will be above these areas that price has tested multiple times. So it makes it a key level, an important level, right? So price has to break above this trend line and that level, right, give us a pullback before we now go upward. All right, from that point, I can also swing this trade. All right, but for day traders, you may want to look at this area as your next target. All right, 1.31440. But for swing traders, that trend line that I showed you on the monthly time frame should be your next target. Then for sells, guys, well, for sells, I have two zones. It's either price keeps dropping, create a new lower low, give a retest before I jump into the sell, and that one I'm going to be swinging. Of course, I'll close much earlier on my prop firm accounts. But if we rally to this upside here, which is this resistance here and this trend line, and I see a strong bearish push to the downside, I have specific entries at that zone. So if I see that specific entry at that trend line and that resistance zone there, then I will sell from the top here. However, if we break above, give it a retest, I will buy. There are entry confirmations. Well, I'm going to talk about that towards the end of this video. So stick till the end of this video to hear that. So now GBP USD, these are my buys. This is my buy zone. And I've also talked about my sell zone. If I see an entry from this trend line to sell, I'm going to sell. Or if price comes and creates a new lower low here, it tests, right? That is when I'm going to go for a swing sell to the downside here, right? But my buying confirmation is above this trend line and into that zone. Though on my swing account, I'll be swinging it much longer if we can take out this trend line, right? But for day trading, we can look at these areas as our targets. All right, so now that is GBP USD. Let's quickly take a look at Euro USD. Before we continue to Euro USD, hold on. 8th of August this month makes it exactly 1 year I posted my first video on YouTube, and I really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving. You've been watching these videos, you've been liking, you've been sharing, you've been leaving your comment. You are the best, guys. To celebrate the 1 year anniversary, we are offering a 20% discount on our mentorship program. So just visit Let's Trade 10X if you are interested. All the informations are on the website there. So there will also be a prop firm challenge giveaway, a 100K prop firm challenge giveaway to one lucky student. Also watch out for the announcement on that one. But it's also totally fine if you are not interested in our mentorship programs. Just keep watching our videos, keep liking, keep sharing, keep showing us this love, and we'll keep dishing out videos week in, week out for you guys. All right, so let's continue. Euro USD, starting from the monthly time frame, as usual, similar to the GBP USD, I'm also expecting that at some point Euro USD is going to rise into this trend line. All right, as you can see, we have one touch, we have two touch, then I'll be expecting a third touch. Are we going to break above it, or we are going to reject it and keep pushing lower? I think when we get there, we will find out. Now let's go to the weekly time frame. But before we even go to the weekly time frame, let's stick to the monthly time frame first. You can see we closed with a bullish price action on Euro USD for last month. So I'll be expecting continuous bullish push to the upside. At least I'm more bullish than bearish for now. Now we are still trading at a key level, right, on the weekly time frame, and you can see how we closed for last week. You can see the sign of the weakness, right? Dodgy candlestick, sign of weakness, and because of that I'll be expecting a bullish continuation next week. Let's go to the daily time frame to see things clearly. You can see when price came into that key level, you can start seeing the massive rejection to the upside, and clearly price is still in an uptrend all the way from the downside. They're creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low. Even if we drop into this trend line, for instance, it is still a higher low because it's lower than this. Then I'll be expecting a new higher high at some point. Now let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, just like I did with GBP USD, only that this time Euro USD is actually touching the trend lines at the top touch of the trend line. No wonder we saw this rejection. So our bullish confirmation for next week will be for price to break above this trend line and this area here, this key area here that has been tested multiple times looking left, right? So if we break above it, then I'll be expecting a retest of that region then before price rallies all the way to the upside, right? And if that doesn't happen, then next week, let's say we open and price maybe on the lower time frame, probably like the 15 minutes time frame or the 1 hour time frame. You can do that. You can draw these zones on the higher time frame, then go to much lower time frames to look at them. All right, so let's say, okay, I go on the 15 minutes time frame next week and price finds its way back to this trend line, and I see a massive rejection. There are specific candlesticks I look for at this point. If I see that rejection, then I will take that sell earlier from this zone here, because after all, in this mini trend, we are in a downtrend. All right, so if I still see a massive rejection, I could go for a short sell, not a long sell, a short sell, maybe into this price area here or into this mini price area here, which is 1.09962. So that would just be a quick 1-to-2 reward to risk ratio trade there. That's if it's for a sell, but overall buying confirmation is above here. For me to go for a long sell, then price has to come and create a new lower low here, go back for a retest, then I could take a longer trade. Remember, I'm not going to be executing on the 4-hour time frame at this point. After I've established a break below, a retest, then I'll swing to the 15 minutes time frame, look for an earlier entry with a very, very tight stop loss. Then in this case, I could go for 5 to 6 to 7% return on this trade, just between here and here. All right, so but overall bullish confirmation, which I'm leaning towards the bullish side of Euro USD at the moment, is for price to take out this zone, retest it, then I'm going to swing all the way to the upside. But for day trading, prop firms, you cannot swing for extended period of time. So for prop firm, we can be taking profits along the way. At least my initial profit targets will now be 1.12550. Then we'll break above it. We'll keep adding trades on our way up, of course. Okay, of course, I'll be here to keep guiding you week in, week out. All right, so Euro USD, I am more bullish than bearish. So our bullish confirmation will be above this trend line. So let's go to GBP JPY. GBP JPY, if you remember, if you watched last week's video, I told you bullish to bearish. Now, what does bullish to bearish mean with all those things I put on my thumbnail? Bullish to bearish mean I'm expecting initial bullish push to the upside, then later within the week, price is going to nosedive, right? And what does bearish to bullish mean? It means the initial part of the week price is going to go bearish before within the week we switch to bullish trade. All right, we interpret the market right here, and we do this week in, week out. If you've been following this channel, you can testify to that. Enough of all of that. Let's start from the monthly time frame again. GBP JPY. Let's see how we're doing. We have a key level here. As a matter of fact, we have a key level at 183.809. All right, and why is that even a key level? You should look further left. Price is trading at an important zone. See how price has bounced off this zone previously? Did you also see how price has bounced off this zone previously? Did you also notice here? All right, If I swing out my chart, you will see it clearly, right? So because of all these respects to this particular price area, it makes it a key level. And no wonder we saw a bearish price action last week. I mean, bearish price action doesn't just happen in the middle of nowhere. In fact, as if they even happen in the middle of nowhere, we don't count that as important, because we most likely will expect price to continue in the direction of the market, regardless of how that candlestick or how counter trend that candlestick close. Now, I want to look for candlestick patterns at key levels, right? Like chart patterns. Every trading decision we'll make in the market should happen at a key level, at an important level, all right? Whether it's strong support or a strong resistance and all of that. You can see when we came into that important level, we closed with a monthly bearish candlestick. So what does that tell us? Buyers are tired at the moment, so sellers are taking control. Buyers are taking their profit now. The market is dropping, while sellers are still speculating more on the bearish side of things. So I'll be expecting price to fall into 176.581. Do I know 100% if that's going to play out? I definitely don't know. But I definitely know one thing for sure, that we are going to be closing this month with a bearish candlestick. So that simply means I am a seller for this month. But of course, if things changes within the month, because at the same time as I'm so sure anything can still happen. So let's continue. Yeah, this is at the key level weekly time frame. You can see since when price touched on this particular week, we've seen more bearish price action. Just one weekly bullish candlestick, right? So because of this, I'll be expecting further decline on GBPUSD. Let's switch to the daily time frame. Just like I rightly predicted, we saw 2 bullish price action, then 3 bearish price action, 5 active trading days in the week, right? For next week, I'll be expecting price to keep falling into this price region here, which is between, let me put a line there so that we can keep tabs with it. All right, so I'll be expecting price to keep pushing down into between 180.080 and 179.768. Let's go to the forward time frame so that we can see things clearly. On the forward time frame, of course, we are trading at a key level. On the higher time frames, we're already bearish biased, and we are beginning to see bearish market structure on the lower time frames. As you can see here, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Then I'll be expecting a new lower low into this region next week. Now, if you're not already in this trade, you know how we do. I like to tell you where to join this trade. So that takes me all the way down to the 15 minutes time frame. Now, on the 15 minutes time frame, you can easily spot the head and shoulders pattern, right? And no wonder we're dropping. Now we have a key level here because price had bounced off this zone previously, and now price is approaching that zone again. So I'll be expecting, if you're not already in this trade, for price to take out this structure here. You can pause this video, go plot this on your chart so that you can keep tabs, right? Then I'll be expecting price to break below it, go back for a retest before dropping all the way down into between these zones, all right? Remember, if we break below that zone and we give it a retest, we are collapsing all the way to the downside. And the target, I already showed you the target from the monthly time frame, so you can rewind a bit so that you can see that overall target on the monthly time frame, because I don't think it's visible on the I think it's visible on the 15 minutes time frame. This is my overall target for the pullback for now, 176.581. all right? So if we now trade into this zone, I will break below it, retest it, then that zone down below is our next target, all right? JPY, I am bearish for next week. Let's quickly look at Cadjpy, starting from the monthly time frame as usual. So last week I also told you bullish to bearish, right? And we saw exactly that. Of course, you can't see it on the monthly time frame until we go down to the lower time frame. So when we get there, I'll remind you. But last week, I told you that price had bounced off this zone previously, and now it looks like we are closing with a bearish candlestick for that month. I'm talking about last week, and that was July, right? And we successfully closed bearish for July, and now August has started, and it looks like we are dropping massively, all right? So I'm not saying we are going to keep collapsing all the way to the downside. Before I can say that, we have to break below this zone here. So it's too early to say all of that. Well, on Cadjpy, I really don't have a clear-cut overall target. I would love to see here, but guys, this market is too bullish to expect this massive drop. It is a possibility, very, very much a possibility. But I don't like jumping ahead of myself. So I think for now, I'm going to be looking at what price does at 103.930. Then if we break below that one, then I'll be looking at 99.810. All right. And if we still now break below that, then guys, at that point I can say we are falling down into the zone for sure. All right, now let's continue. Let's go to the weekly time frame on Cadjpy. Cadjpy, we closed super bearish for last week, so I'll be expecting continuous bearish push to the downside, most definitely. All right, so let's even go to the to the daily time frame. So like I've been saying, I'm expecting price to drop into here. You can pause this video and plot this chart, replicate this on your chart so that you can watch the same areas I am watching. So I'll be expecting price to keep dropping into the zone for the early part of next week. And of course, if we now break below that zone, give it a retest, then guys, we are coming into 100.577. all right. Initial take profit here. Then if we break below, next take profit is here. All right, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Let's go to the part where I usually say, if you are not in this trade, this is how to get into the trade. Now let me take you all the way down to the 15 minutes time frame. All right, so if you are not in this trade, where do you join? All right, good question. Where you join is, permit me to just do this here, sorry. So where you join is, if you are not in this trade, where you join is 2 zones. All right, if you don't get an entry opportunity here, then let's say price keeps pushing higher, then this zone should be your perfect entry opportunity here. So why do I have these 2 levels? I won't come here to lie to you. You know, sometimes the market, sometimes you can get the direction of a market 100% correct, but your first entry will be a loss. You know why? I know that price is going to fall, but there are zones where price is expected to sell off from. So now I'm looking at these 2 zones. Let's say price pulls back into this knuckle, and let's say it gives me my entry raising and I sell and my take profit is down here, and let's say price goes and stop me out. I don't get mad. Because, of course, if I don't take the trade, you only need to put in trade to be able to win trade. If you are too scared, trade, no money for you. And, of course, you are going to lose trades, okay? I'm not even going to lie to you, right? There's no strategy that you will never lose trade from. Many people will even promise you a 90% win rate. Guys, how has that gone for you? If you believe in the 90% win rate BS, by all means, go try it out, then come back and tell me the testimony. Because I know it's definitely going to give you a slam dunk. It will give you a total smackdown. If you think I'm lying, go find out. There are lots of them on the internet. Go and find out. Go buy their courses and see how far. Well, I know the people viewing my channels and those that are subscribed to this channel are very, very smart people. Those that love watching my video are very, very smart people, and they know the concept of consistency in Forex trading. They know the concept of compounding in Forex trading. I'm even going to talk about something immediately after this video. All right, at the end of this video, but let me just tell you how to join this trade before I forget. So if price pulls back into here and I get my entry reason, I'm going to sell and swing all the way or hold all the way down to 104.823. But let's say I enter here and price stops me out and keeps pushing higher. Here will be my next sell zone. Do you know what this is? Imagine me entering a trade like this. Let's say I get a decent entry here, my stop loss here, and my take profit all the way down below. Do you know what this means? I'm making 6.55% on this trade. So do you expect me to pass up on this trade because I don't want to lose a trade? I'll take this trade. So even if it stops me in a loss, then I'll wait for price to come to this next region here. And if I still see an entry opportunity, I'm going to sell. Let me delay this. Let me put this here. I am going to sell with the same tighter stop loss, right above there, and take profit all the way down because we have enough room to trade all the way down. This time is going to give me a 10% profit. If I risk 1% on this trade and I lose and I risk another 1%, guys, this is my profit target, 10%. I'll more than make up for the loss times 10 or times 9, right? So this is how to trade. Let me even show you something on Euro JPY. Similar thing happened to me yesterday. I had 2 zones. I knew price was going to fall. I was looking at JPY INDEX. I knew price was going to fall. Then I planned to sell here. Remember, I even sent out a chart last week and price went nicely. I sent out that analysis on the Telegram channel and price played out nicely. But I was also still expecting a sell from that zone, right? So I missed this particular trade because it happened around 1:45 a.m. in the morning. I was asleep by the time. I was now awake when price pulled back into this zone. So I had two zones already. I knew I wanted to sell from two places. If I sell here and it doesn't work out, then I'll sell here. Just like I just showed you now on the Cadjpy. So guys, I sold. And price actually went in my favor, but I was too stubborn. I didn't close profit. I wanted price to at least come into this region, or even I had another line down below here. But price didn't come down there. Instead, came back. It went in profit, came back, stopped me out. I was so mad because ideally it's not even good for price. At least I should have broken even earlier, but I was so sure about the trade, so I missed it. It stopped me out. Then I came back here and I took the trade and I held till I held till 1 hour to market close on Friday, right? Because it was now my own time to play. The buyers had finished their nonsense, and now I was able to close around here, not where market is exactly. So I ended up making 3.65% on that trade, right? So remember I lost 1% here, then I entered the trade again. So I made my 1% back and made extra 2.6%. You can see, made extra 2.65% on this trade. So that's why if you have to have multiple zones. If one zone doesn't work, you wait for the other zone, but you execute your strategy every time it plays out. All right, it happens. So now I'm just going to stop here for today. And once again, do yourself a favor, because if I come here to do my analysis, I tell you my projection for the week and all of that. But guys, you need to have a rule-based strategy, right? Trading is 20% the skill, while the 80% is your mindset, right? So yes, technical analysis is important. Yes, fundamental analysis is important. Yes, entering a trade is important and all of that. You need to cement that spot first. You need to have the skill to even have a chance at succeeding in this very volatile market. Then your mindset, which includes your trading psychology, your ability to be patient for your trade to play out, your ability to get into your trade even after a loss, your ability to stay in your winning trade, your profitable trade longer, so that you can maximize profit. Now, many struggling traders, you lack all of this. I believe lack of a proper rule-based strategy is why you are inconsistent in the market. Check it out. A proper rule-based strategy helps with your mindset, because without rules, we are nothing, right? As humans, right? So when you have a proper rule-based trading strategy, you know exactly what you are looking for. You know exactly when you should be getting into the market, win or lose. I'm not saying you're going to win all your trades. You know exactly when you should be getting out of the market. And because you have a rule, you've taken out emotion. When you don't have a rule, you guess your way around the market, right? But when you have a solid rule-based trading strategy, you are solid. You know exactly what to do. You know when to get into the market. You know when to stay out of the market. And our course is definitely going to help you achieve all of that. Create a rule to trading, a rule-based strategy to trading execution. Just like I've said here, price may come into this zone and I won't sell. I may not even secure a loss. For instance, if price breaks above it, even though I'm expecting a sell. Why? Because there's something specific I am looking for. So because you believe me a lot, of course, because I'm always like 90% accurate in my analysis. So I won't blame you if you just sell because I said so, right? But it will help you if you have the course to be able to further understand my analysis, right? Because you know where you should be, you know exactly what to look for at those zones you see me plot on my chart. So all you just need to do is to replicate it, go to your chart and watch it. And now, because you are well grounded in my course or any of our mentorship program, you know exactly what you should be looking for. So you execute there. So now you have a rule-based strategy. You've taken out emotion and all of that. So if you can generate a rule-based strategy, you're already a good trader. So guys, let me just stop the video here. It's already very, very lengthy. Once again, if you've made it to the end of this video, I deeply, deeply appreciate. We are currently offering a 20% discount, like I said earlier. The link is in the description of this video down below. And if you are yet to subscribe, please do so now. And I'll see you in the next video.